Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Stay with your man.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. A shotgun give to Fournette. And right away, he lost the football. Give him 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now Foles. Looking sideline, incomplete. Marquise Lee, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd and 10, Foles, a throw left side, complete to his receiver Westbrook. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Jaguars, 1st down. Here we go. In your face. Here we go.
Foles. And get that to Fournette, complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Bang, 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 bang. Kill, kill, kill. Hey, alert 3. Jack.
Now it's Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
They're not ready for this, man. Young lady, they still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football. Why? Get wide. No. Off.
From the 50, it's Darnold. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other...
This is caught inside the 15. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big third down play there for the Jags. 46 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
Check 43.
Here's Foles. And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-zip. Now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 9, Darnold. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Mike is 59. Mike to 59. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you. Hey, lady. Switch.
On first down, it's Darnold. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The end result, 21 yards. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north.
SOS. Lady.
First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. He's at the 40. 20, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick 6. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes the score 21-zip. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He gets it here to Peak.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Darnold will throw it on 3rd and 1. And that will be incomplete. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Jags, D.D. Westbrook. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. 21-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus. Under 10, under 10, 10.
Fournette running out of the gun. Fournette fighting through. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Yes, sir. Leonard Fournette has a well-deserved reputation as a physical, powerful runner. He's going to drop his shoulder and run over people time and time again. I think he uses it to his advantage, though. How about that last run? Set him up. Looked like he's going to drop the hammer, but gave a little wiggle, a little shake. And what did he do, partner?
Got the defender right there in his weight. And now the throw taken in by Chark. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
That's good for another Jacksonville 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
Looking to throw. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
1.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Watch it. Tiger.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. D.D. Westbrook with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
Jets take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Check. Red 80. Goose. Rush in. Check.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
Mike's 50. Here we go, deep. Here I come. Chance. Check 3. Red 80.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Airing one out for Crowder. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll set up a throw. He's going to let this one go. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
He's coming, double up. Check 37, check 37.
After the interception, here's Darnold. He's going to air one out for Anderson. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson, an 80-yard touchdown, as they are now on the board here in the first half. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And finally brought down at the 38. A very solid gain of 27. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Eluding the pressure right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Keelan Cole, the intended target. A play fake, and it's Darnold. Open man left side. That's the tight end, Herndon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Darnold now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now Darnold. Buying time to his left. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Catanzaro's kick is good. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
Following the field goal on is Locke Edwards to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive. Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what it is.
It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
Hey, Alpha!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Foles over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
To throw again on 2nd down. Foles. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done it. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Now that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes so clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. Now the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Now Foles. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
At the 21-yard line.
So don't say nothing. Check 9, check 9.
Foles. Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. The 40, the 20, 10, and he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it, and you know that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number 1 because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a 1-score game.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Again, it's Fournette. And some room to work. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Fournette, a 1st down carry. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Be alert, be alert. 57. We ain't giving up nothing today.
On 2nd and 12, Foles. That's out to his running back, Fournette. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7 reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Watch the run, watch the run.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to...
And that ball is caught by DJ Chark for the Jags touchdown. DJ Chark his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
Young lady, come on, come get some. Young lady, here, check 24, check 24. Whip. Watch the whip. Pick that.
Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Hey, Haywood.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Flushed out right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Double time. Even. 4 down. Even. Check 26. Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Darnold now to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Griffin. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. In for the score. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. So they get the score, partner. Game's not over, but they still need some help here.
Agreed. They definitely need some help, but they took care of the first part by scoring themselves.
Extra point good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Hey, I'm 7.
At the 27-yard line.
Let's 57's mine. Hey.
Here's Foles. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now back to throw. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. On the run, it's Fournette. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Foles throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Fournette. Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, the Ravens' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Call it a gain of 5, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, break at the football. Get it out.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. From 10 yards out. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Check 52.
Now it's Darnold. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
from the 24. They'll go again on 2nd and 10. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Jets on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Darnold now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Darnold. And it's caught by Herndon. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. By the end of last year, Herndon had solidified himself as the primary tight end for New York. Now, overall, 2nd leading receiver in 2018 on the team behind Robbie Anderson. In fact, his 39 catches, most among rookie tight ends in the league a season. And this is caught. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Jamison Crowder, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. And this is going to be recovered by the Jaguars. And that should just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Check 50, check 50. Kill. Bravo.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Escaping the pressure right. That is incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. They'll run with Fournette. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.